Hi, this is Skip Steward, Chief Improvement Officer with Baptist Memorial Healthcare. Today I'm with Brandon Brown, Master Kata Coach from Continuous Coaching Commitment, and Beth Carrington, Master Kata Coach from Kata Matters. And guys, today, as y'all know, we've done a coaching or second coach's skill camp. And so I've pulled you in here to make a little short video because I'd like to do some rapid questions. I'd like to throw some questions at you that I hear as I'm throughout the system, and then just allow y'all to answer that question, and hopefully that might be helpful to some folks of ours.
Okay.
Okay, so the first question says this: I understand the role of the learner and the role of the coach, but what is the difference between the role of the coach and the second coach? Why are there two coaches? And actually, there is another coach role, the role of a master coach. Can you describe that as well?
Well, I'll take a stab at this to start. That's a great question because it really led to us holding this second coach skill camp today, because we've heard that question out in the Baptist community of Kata practitioners. So just like the learner has a coach to teach them a particular behavior and give them constructive feedback to help make their practice more perfect, more the desired pattern of practice. A coach needs that same kind of constructive feedback. So now what we have is a second coach, which is really the coach's coach. So the primary Kata coach is teaching the learner. The second coach is teaching the Kata coach. So that's the role of the Kata coach, the second coach is really to stay focused on that coach and keeping them true to form. Now, the master coach, it's also often called an external coach, external to the chain of command of the learner, coach, and second coach. We refer to them as master coaches or external coaches. They're there to watch the overall practice, the quality of the practice, and really help give feedback to, depending on their skill level, novice or proficient, feedback to the second coach, and learner. As their skill level goes up, our attention turns further and further away from the learner and goes to the coach. Again, as their skill continues, we turn our attention to the second coach.
Great.
And that's kind of where we are now and why we held the workshop today.
Great, thank you for that.
A couple things I would add, playing off what Beth is saying, is that many times the first coach, they don't recognize a pattern of their own coaching. They get so into the kata itself and trying to come to a solution that they don't see the pattern they're coaching. And so the second coach can step back, take notes, and over the course of a couple of weeks say, I see you coaching in this way, and it's not really leading us, in the direction toward the challenge or something like that. The other thing I've seen is coming in as a master coach is a group, even with a first coach, second coach, they're stuck. They don't know where to go. They've reached a certain point in the challenge and they're not progressing forward. And so after a session or two, usually we can see a particular direction, or maybe there's an obstacle that we can ask, have you thought about this, or have you explored this focus process that's related to your process or to your customer or the next person down? And so when they start changing their thinking pattern, it can lead the whole kata in a different direction many times.
I love that. I hear that word quite often, is we're stuck. We've been stuck, and you work with them for a bit, and it's like, they see a way forward now. That's excellent.
Good. Okay, question 2. At many organizations that deploy kata, I have found the role of the second coach is not as prevalent as we are working to make it, here at Baptist Memorial Healthcare. Why do you think the second coach is so important, not only to us here at Baptist, but also stressed in Mike Rother's book, Mike Rother being the author of Toyota Kata?
I think one obvious thing is for encouragement, like we mentioned just now, that groups get stuck. And so groups I've seen that don't have a second coach, many times the encouragement that they're stuck and where they need to go needs to come from someone else. It needs to come from someone, either their superior or someone that's they're direct reporting to. So I think that's one of the big things for the second coach, and the reason why it's stressed so heavily. The other thing I've seen is groups that don't have a second coach, let's just say someone's out on vacation or PTO or they're gone for the week, then what happens to the entire Kata that week? You know, there's no one to step into that role. So we ask that first coach to move into the learner, and the second coach is there to move into the coach, so we're still making progress during that week.
Good point. Good point.
Really, again, giving that feedback, constructive feedback to that primary coach is the real important role of that second coach. Because you're so into the content, sometimes the coach can tend to slip back into the learner role, and so a second coach pulls them back out and puts them in their proper role.
Good point. Good point.